This looks so bad under the camera. Here we have onycholysis, a bent free edge. What did you do? I even managed to cut the form squint now. You can see on all the nails that Magda picked all of them off. How long are we making them? Short. Good morning, darlings. Today, a slightly different perspective than normal, and a little different set of nails than normal. Our models have very beautiful, well taken care of nails because they're our models. I, on the other hand, spent the last 7 weeks in a wild, remote jungle and had a silly idea to go and do my nails in a salon in Bali. In short, there are different parts of the world from which we can draw better or worse experiences in different walks of life. So, in Bali, this turned out to be a big mistake to go get your nails done. Although I cannot say a bad word about these girls. They did their best, but the results were mediocre despite my help and supervision. But Poland is a place with an absolutely top-notch level of nail styling. And I want to stress that because only when you're there do you realize what great nail stylists we have here. Thanks to, for example, Paulina Walaszczyk, who trained thousands of them in Poland and abroad. Also, thanks to Indigo, I need to give us a high five here, because we spread knowledge and raise the bar. And even if something doesn't go 100% to plan in a video, which can happen, listen girls, in comparison to nails done by a professional in Bali, here in Poland, we are the true masters of nail styling. Okay, let's move on to hard facts. Paulina will see my nails for the first time. Watch her face. Even though she's seen a lot. 3, 2, 1, ta-da! Oh. I can't swear now, can I? No, I must say, this is hardcore. These nails are 5 weeks old now. You know what? I'll tell you something. Let me show it to the camera too. Ignoring the fact that we have here all of this tragically damaged plate, I want to know how on earth you grew so much cuticle.
To ja się pytam, jakim cudem narosło ci tyle skórek?
I've never seen you with this much cuticle growth. Where was the manicure? There was none. It was done, I promise. And I want to point out that the manicure was the best part of the whole service. Come on, look at this. I mean, I really don't want to criticize, but I have never in my life seen you with such cuticles. Let's go back in time to all those videos where Magda was a model. These cuticles, the world has not seen. But in a way it's good, because today we will demonstrate how to do them properly when someone is a so-called overgrowth. Oh my, it hurts just to look at it. This was the first nail that was cleaned up with a nail file. And after that, I knew. You don't want nails like that? I asked the girls to remove half with the nail file and the rest with the nail file, so I was there for like 5 hours. Oh my, and what kind of E-bits do they have there? Hardcore ones, you know? God, it hurts so much to look at this. It hurts me too when I look at it. No, fortunately it doesn't hurt at all. Because it's snagged here and we can see the hypernychium and all. Because really, look, the free edge should be up to here, but it's ripped off and we can see the nail bed. It doesn't hurt when I touch it. No. It's already keratinized, but because here I had a bit of a nail and I kept it, and I think it gave some protection. But this morning in the shower, it disappeared completely when I was washing my hair. I don't know when. So I guess it was ready to stop protecting. It knew you were coming to see me. Listen, in Singapore, for a nail polish, buffer and pads, they wanted to charge me 250 Singapore dollars. That's times 3? I was stunned. I'm listening to them and I'm like, sorry, can you give me the price again? The lady repeats saying, very good polish. And I just leave. I say, I'm not paying that, no way.
It just can't be like that. I'm sorry, I'm not going to pay. I'm sorry.
So I went to a pharmacy to buy a similar polish, and it was also quite pricey. I think $20. So they really charge for such products there. See, inflation gets everywhere. Here at Indigo, we make sure prices don't rise. And there was a promo yesterday. High five for us. As Paula pointed out, this was also my fault. I am a typical client who blames everything on the salon and does not admit what actually happened. Exactly. Now, without cutting any corners, here's the whole story. Leaving for Asia for 7 weeks, I had beautiful, short, very thinly made gel nails that stayed on very well. But they grew out very, very fast. If you go from a sun-deprived country to a sun-soaked paradise, get a lot of sleep and spend lots of time outdoors, these nails grew out so much in 3 weeks that it was getting tricky not to catch them on something, chip them, you know? You shouldn't wear outgrown nails. Everybody knows that. So, without giving it much thought, I decided, even though I had all of our products and tools with me, I couldn't get motivated to do them myself. So, I decided, as part of the holiday experience, to go to a salon in Bali. I went with all my products and tools, which I had sterilized, and good job I did because they've not heard of sterilizing there. I mean, they insisted the E-bits they took my old styling off with were sterilized. And let's hope they were. The girls took the old styling off, then put gel polish on, our mineral base, and flooded my cuticles. Halfway through, I regretted this. I was regretting that once they took the old mass off, I didn't just borrow the e-file from them to do it myself. But, you know, I was in the middle of the process and the girls were trying so hard. They really wanted to do well. So I felt stupid to stop them. Okay, so I'll stop you there and ask, where was Dariusz? He couldn't be bothered either. He couldn't be bothered. Just like I didn't feel like it. Didn't feel like it. Now, there's no chance I will ever allow for this. Either I'm going with no manicure or I'm redoing it myself. But I'm never going to have an idea as stupid as letting a local professional do it for me. Exactly. The gel polish the girls applied lasted 2 weeks. I mean, it got so many air pockets, I was worried it would get infected. Some green bacteria or something. Especially in the tropics. When do you think I went to this salon? I'd estimate around 4 weeks. 1 week, I'd say. 3.5 weeks exactly. See, have a look in the camera here. A natural nail grows approximately 1 millimeter per week. So look, on Magda's nails we have 4 millimeters from the cuticles, more or less, but it wasn't 4 weeks, it was 3.5. Because the nails grew quicker, so we have a bigger outgrowth in a shorter time. Okay, should we get going? Absolutely. It's evident on all the nails that Magda was picking on her gel polish. That is, we have these traces, irregular tears, tiny micro-injuries that appear in great numbers. We have onycholysis here, a curved free edge, which also suggests that this plate is very thinned because it's bent. Here we have a defect in the natural plate on the nail bed, in the sense that there is no plate applied to the bed. There is an uncovered nail bed, already partially hardened, keratinized. So it's not that painful now, but in the first phase, if it were uncovered here, and you were exposed to touch, it would hurt you for sure. Here we also have damage to the plate in the form of overfiling and a very large redness. It's not a hematoma, but we're getting very close to the capillaries. So there's definitely something here that if I press it, it hurts. Yes? Fortunately not. You must have a higher pain threshold, so let's assume that normally it hurts most people. This kind of pressure is painful. Oh my, listen, especially the mechanical damage. As you can see here, we're missing the nail bed. Jesus, this looks bad. Yep, lack of a nail plate, meaning an exposed nail bed. It should go up to here. Here we have onycholysis, the bending of the nail plate, the waving of it. There's only a minimal layer of plate here, so the pain here is with a capital P. These issues repeat. It's all the same everywhere. But look here. We can see these little red dots. They're very characteristic. These are the points where the product stuck on a little better, and you had to put a little more elbow grease into it.
bardziej i trzeba było troszeczkę mocniej.
Gosh, this looks so bad in the camera. I feel it's not as bad looking in real life. No, it looks even more dry. Jesus.
No nie, no wygląda tak bardziej...
Most of all, have a look at the shrinking of the nail plate. Because you usually have the plate all the way to the end of the fingertip, and now look, it's so much shorter. It got so tiny. It doesn't look like your finger at all. A woman walks into a nail salon, like in the famous joke, a horse walks into a bar. Let's talk about what can be done about these nails. For sure, my recommendation would be to do a much shorter styling so that it doesn't press so much onto the natural plate and doesn't weigh it down too much. The amount of product will be smaller than 2 if they're shorter, but it needs to be a gel or an acrylic styling. Strong, hard, to ensure this nail plate is protected for a good few weeks. And we definitely won't be taking this mass off in 3 weeks. We'll need to infill it 2 to 3 times. Nice and easy. We'll do some sort of regeneration, so as much of this natural plate as possible remains covered up while it grows out. That's my recommendation. The shape can be anything you'd like. Of course, not some sort of a point, because we can't do a short point, but an oval or a soft square going into an oval. Why not? Exactly. I was thinking of a Paula square. My square. You look good in those square nails. Let's do it. Absolutely. So, we start from the cuticles. These ones are so well stuck to the nail plate, I won't even attempt to push them back. I will go straight for the E-bit number 9, set to 14,000, maybe even 15,000 RPM. It needs to be between 10 and 15. You know what? With the edge of this number 9 bit, I can slowly cut into the cuticle stuck to the nail plate. And once it's cut off with this edge, I can use a sweeping motion to remove it completely. This way I don't have to push these stuck cuticles up. Scraping the plate with a cuticle pusher is not the best idea in this case. So when they're stuck like this, I tend to cut them off with an E-bit. The most important thing when cutting cuticles off with an E-file is to do it very gently. We have a young nail plate here, and with such extensive damage, every millimetre is precise, so I would like to avoid causing any additional damage with the filing. Because using the edge of this bit, if you're not very experienced or not paying attention, you can end up creating a groove in the natural nail plate. This will show up later, but you can actually hear if I'm filing the nail or the cuticle. The moment I cut through the cuticle, I start damaging the nail. This really dull sound means I'm still working on just the skin, the cuticle. You can even see the cuticles are not yet fully removed. When I hold training sessions in E-file manicures, I always tell the students that working with an E-file is strongly connected with the sense of hearing, and they are shocked. Oh wow, I never listened to my E-file. So I say, you will now. So now we need to focus on what sound is our work surface emitting. It's just like with men, for example, who are driving a car and they say, "Can't you hear that?" I don't hear anything. You don't hear that? And they start going on about some mechanical thing, but we don't hear anything at all because we don't pay attention to it. They are more in tune with the car. Here it's the other way around. After a while, you're so used to working with this machine that you can hear it perfectly. You just have to learn to focus and learn to distinguish the sounds. It's like when you park a car and turn the volume down on the radio to see better. Turn the sound down to see better. It's a bit like that. You quiet yourself down so you can see better. In a similar manner, apparently, mothers can recognize that cry of their baby. Mums can recognize silence the best. If it's quiet, it means something is going on. It's not normal. They go running in, it's too quiet in this room. Oh, I like working on your cuticles. They're so malleable. And if we had a situation in which a client comes to the salon with the so-called wet cuticles, could we process them with an E-file? Yes, we could. We definitely have to dry them out first. So bring out cleaners, antiperspirants, or talc, because there's no point fooling ourselves. To work with an e-file, the skin needs to be dry. Okay, now that I've worked for a bit with the file, it all pushed up beautifully. But because they were so stuck down, I will now allow myself to push them up a bit here. I'll need the 180 grit file here because these nails are very fragile. I would even say 240 would be handy. So I'll just gently round the edge here. I simply get rid of this damaged nail. I don't see it at all. Leaving a free edge that's this thin will make it go out of shape. As it grows out, it will keep detaching from underneath. It could also happen here that an air pocket would form from the free edge and not from the cuticles. It's enough to take a longish bath and this nail will suddenly come to life. It will start detaching from underneath. Air will go in and job done. Okay, so now we'll buff the natural plate using a 240 grit mandrel set to a very low speed of 5,000–6,000 RPM. Mandrels are cool because they will buff very gently and they won't heat up. I won't have to press against the nail, so there's no risk it will catch the cuticles as it can happen with a nail file. What are the do's and don'ts of working with a mandrel? The do's and don'ts are that, as I say in my training sessions, you set the speed so low that if you press it down too hard, you'll see what happens. It stops working. It stops filing, so I can't hurt you with it. It's a great starting point for e-file practice. It's their first time with me too. And the e-file. A little three-way. No, but seriously, the students are always so scared of the e-file. Of course, those that have some sort of understanding that they don't have the skills yet and are afraid to hurt anyone because some say, fine, give it here, let me have a go, whatever. And then, I know some of those, in Bali. I do it well. I do everything well. But really, it's a very gentle process, without any pressure, not heating up. So this is a bit of a secret, a bit of a love at first sight. First use. The first use of a mandrel. But we can also buff the plate with a diamond bit, number 2 or number 3, and we'll get the same results. So during training, we always have a team mandrel and team diamond, and the girls divide nicely into groups. Maybe we could do the other hand with a diamond bit? You know, I only have a green one, and usually I buff with the blue one, but if I do it super gently, then I think it will be okay. Those of you watching us who want to try this, make sure you use the blue mandrel, not the green. Yes, use the blue unless you have some leftover residue of some protein base or something else is in the way that you need to remove. Then it's better not to complicate your life and struggle. Then we can take the green one. Just remember to be gentle on the plate. Listen, in the same manner, also right, left, very gently. A mandrel is bigger than this, and this bit is more precise. What about you? Can you feel a difference? It's not so gentle anymore, or is it still nice? It's gentler. I feel you're being gentler with it. Note that we're now on the same messed up nail. Yes, but I'm not doing anything different. I'm treating it the same. Now tell us exactly what motions you're making. Left, right, left, right, left, right. I call this the windscreen wipers move. Exactly. Right, left, like wipers, up, down, up, down, up, down. We're trying to achieve somewhat chaotic moves. Chaotic in the sense that if we were to look under a microscope, we wouldn't see parallel stripes or crosses. The rough texture we're now creating intentionally, aka buffing the plate, should be irregular. This way, we know the applied product will catch from every angle. Right, have a look at the difference. There isn't any. The nail plate is buffed exactly the same with the mandrel and with the diamond. And it's all good. It will hold well here and here. So this is Team Diamond and this is Team Mandrel. And the difference is none. So now what? Shall we remove those cuticles? I won't remove them in any magical way. I'd rather spend more time working on the shape. Disclaimer. If you're a beginner stylist, or you prefer the technique of removing the cuticles after applying and filing down the product, okay, fair enough. Paula, we've already mentioned, with her surgeon-like precision, can remove the cuticles all the way down to the matrix because she won't overfile them when shaping the mass. You know what? I don't do that either. Right now, I'm not cutting it all out to the max. But look at these drapes. They'll get in the way of the application, so drapes indeed, like the ones under the pits. Italia. I'm just moving the tip. The bumper, yes. The tip of the iceberg. Yes, just the edge. I don't go into the inner layers at all. Ah, so we'll be finishing them off after shaping the nail. Yes, although sometimes it happens. Look, I didn't cut them out. See, I didn't cut them out perfectly. There's still a bit here and there. It's total chill, this cuticle removal, you know? This is a good lesson for those who are tough to always do the cuticles at the end. If you get a client with such overgrown cuticles, it will be harder to work on them. So it might be worth tidying it up a bit at the start and then finishing off at the end. Totally, because applying the product is harder and so is the filing. Sometimes if you're filing and you have such large cuticles, they catch and you can cause real harm by not cutting them out at all. They are starting to look a lot better now. Indeed, it's a process. I'll just quickly, because some nail hangs popped up, run across all of them with the 9. We'll do one hand, exactly the same, because there's no difference here. I'll just do a quick run and we're done. A quick run with the 9 here will leave a little bit of a cuticle mess, so it's not ideal. You know, it's real life. So this is what the nails look like ready for the styling. Now we'll dehydrate them with a cleaner. Of course, I take our cleaner. We'll be using number 1. Ethyl acetate. Welcome to my nails. Now it's going to look. It will reveal the truth. This is what Walaszczyka's nails look like. This is after stage 1. Right, let's go. Acid-free primer. Definitely acid-free. Why not acid? Because you can't apply an acid primer onto any wounded parts or exposed nails, even a keratinized plate. And here we have a damaged nail plate, so no, absolutely not. An A star even. Wise after the fact. Okay, so let's move on. Our queen needs to come in here today. The protein base. Because I can't see anything else we could put on here. So I'm doing it here, splat, splat, splat. We rub it in so that all the channels and grooves get filled with the base. Up, down, it doesn't really matter. You can just splat around. As long as you don't just coat it like this, there needs to be some haphazard movements. Most importantly, I'm doing this with a gel brush so that I can reach all the nooks and crannies. So rub this base in by the cuticles, on the sides, and be sure that the product, it's not very professional, splatter. And spread? I wonder who says spread the most in vlogs. Unprofessional. A push-sweep motion must be the most popular phrase everywhere. Now the last one. Right, we cure this for 30 seconds. Listen, we'll be working on classic forms. We'll take the baby, the mini ones. I remember when I was designing these, I always called them baby. Tadek liked it, and I don't know. Did it catch on or not? Maybe it will catch on from today. But this is the baby form. Yes, ma'am, the baby forms. Baby forms, so little. We have a short shape to create, so we don't need the long ones. This extension, because it will be short, really it will be tiny squares. Should go straight out from the nail plate. We call this follow the nail, so we won't meddle with any angles, etc. We'll lay everything straight on. We place the template. This form has aluminium foil inside it, so if you squeeze on it, it will hold its shape. So be careful not to crush it too much. You need to be gentle. I'll trim it a bit. I'm focusing well on this stage because I think this is the foundation, so I don't want any gaps. I don't want to risk anything getting sticky. The cat ears will be more like Batman's ears today. Call it what you want. We place our form straight on. Everything sits well here. We have it placed snugly from the side too. The most important thing here is that this free edge is perfectly rolled here, like the natural plate. Everything is straight because we'll be building a square, so it needs to be this way. This is great. When you put it in the lamp, I do one more thing here. I cut this one leg, because it's easier to fit into the lamp so the model doesn't twist the form. Just a neat tip for you here. Let's start with this nail first. It's our poor little traumatized nail, so we'll start with it. And look, we only need to place the form here, by the natural plate. Absolutely do not place it under the nail bed, so not under here, where the nail should be, because if you don't cover the exposed nail bed up, like I'm doing now, then it's possible the client will jump out of her skin in pain when polymerization starts. Regardless of what gel it is, burning more or less, imagine having the nail bed nerves exposed here. So this detached bed needs to be well covered on all sides, and the template needs to go under the nail only. Just the bit that sticks out, so whatever is left. This way. So we don't push it too hard. No, we don't push hard. We don't push so that we have raw meat visible somewhere. Okay, let's continue. Hey, lady. This is a syndrome of a compulsive client. You should keep those in shackles. No, I've seen what you can do with such clients. A special price list. A client who rummages in her bag, plus 10 zlotys. A client who flips her hair, plus 15 zlotys. How much did you collect today? What did you do? I even managed to cut the form squint now. Look, the most important things are behind us. So a good nail plate preparation, application of a template, and now we'll be using self-leveling gel, so the rest of the job will go downhill. Downhill and really quite quick. How long will we make the nails? Short. Up to 1? I really think number 1 is max. Look, 1 goes up to here. These are not short nails. Okay, I looked wrong. I like those really, really short ones. After years of wearing almonds, I now like little stubbies. I like to have just my natural plate when I have it, and now that I don't have it, I will wear the easy shape. No, hold on. What do we have today? Self-leveling? Today, self-leveling. Okay. Look, it's so pretty in pink. Pretty indeed. Let's get going. So, what do we do now? We stroke the client with a brush because they were well behaved and didn't fidget during the template application. We lubricate the nail plate. Lubricate being now the official word. We brush it. And let me explain. Straight away, I'm doing a sort of pseudo frame because this is not a proper frame. Frames are very thin, and I want to get here almost half of the desired thickness already. I pull it into the natural plate. I rub it with the other side of the brush. Correct the shape. But it's not great really, this gel is kind of runny. It's a bit loose, this gel. I'm wiping and wiping and wiping, and listen, for me, we need to switch it, yes. I thought this one would be perfect, but under these camera lights we have such heat. Look what's happening. I placed it perfectly and it's running off because it's the leveling 70. Yes, it's got a viscosity of 70, so here, as we can see, I have to change this gel. So I take it off the nail plate, off the form, and quickly switch it to a 110. It's worth noting we're working under lights that generate 26 to 27 degrees Celsius. Yes, indeed. It's very warm in here. Yes, now I'll use wipe off to remove everything from the form and the nail. Maybe not the nail, but more the cuticles where it could have flooded into slightly. And we go for a thicker one. I took a runny one. Why? Because I was going to build short nails. And for short nails, this one is perfect. But if it's summer or you have high temperatures, there's no point making it hard for yourself. You better switch to a thicker one and work in comfort. Right, we've got self-leveling gel, but this time 110. I hope this one will be good now. So I brush it on again. I feel a good consistency. But you know what? I have to hurry with this one too because the temperature here just keeps rising. So let's be quick. I apply the free edge onto my pseudo frame or a pancake. I'm telling you, we're really making a pancake here. I pull it up onto the natural plate, but not too much. Listen, if the nail plate is this damaged and you put too much to start with, then the client will definitely feel it. And it won't be pleasant. We don't want that, especially when your boss is the client. Is this a challenge? I don't want a challenge. I spit on this challenge. Okay, it's on. To the lamp. After 10 to 12 seconds, I'll gently pinch this shape. Nothing's burning. It won't because the self-leveling gel has a reduced polymerization temperature, so it's good. It's cool, this self-leveling gel. Yeah. What brand is it? Indigo? Indigo? I think I've heard of it. It's Italian, right? No, hold on. Indigene. Indigene. I pinch, pinch, pinch. It's quite flexible. But if you put a thicker layer, as I did, not an ultra-thin one, then the frame will hold this nice shape. See? I pinch it and it stays. Let it go in the lamp and we can do the other hand in the meantime. I work interchangeably, so at this stage everything I do once on the right, then on the left, right, left. So now we'll do everything the same on each nail. And what kind of mistakes do the beginners during training most often make at this point? You know, mostly they don't reach the edges properly. So in these corner areas, we have gaps, maybe even holes. So this is the biggest mistake, in my opinion, when it comes to the frame. Of course, a very thin frame isn't great either. Gosh, I haven't done this many nails in a live demo ever. Never in my life so many nails for a vlog either. I do one and go home. I'll pull the template off so it's not in my way. So once this frame is cured, or rather this pseudo frame pancake, I take the form off and it's a lot more comfortable. It's quite monotonous, quite tedious, this job of ours, right? This is the moment when, if you don't have a chatty client, you can switch to meditation mode. So focus on the application and enjoy this application. Magda entertains and educates. And now with Paula's soothing voice, I will guide you to a state of relaxation. I rub in the gel. You like my voice, don't you? Oh, it's a bit much here, no? Yes, but sometimes I prefer to add more and wipe it than end up with a gap, because in some situations, you have to find a workaround. Too hard? No. But speak up. I like it. I deserve it. It's my fault. No. The pinch shouldn't hurt. If it hurts, it means it's bad. I've been manifesting so hard not to get any green bacteria, especially towards the end of wearing those nails. It worked. It did. But tell me, how was green bacteria supposed to get in when you pick these nails off yourself? Well, exactly at that moment when I decided on that drastic step. You know, I really didn't want to pick them off. Are you trying to tell me this decision came to you in the form of an affirmation? You said, "It's logical. There will be no green bacteria if I won't have anything to breed underneath." Watch out, kids. Don't repeat that. Exactly, don't repeat my mistakes. Don't do this at home. I think your idea to overwear these nails and just shorten them and shorten and top up the infill with polish is really genius. It's the only possible solution. You could potentially also take a buff or two to fall down that ridge a little. You know what, if the nails are well made, even if there's a colour on them, you'll take off just the colour and there shouldn't be much of a step. This depends on the styling. Because let's face it, you can have a superb styling that gets air pockets after 3 weeks. So what that you keep shortening it if the pocket just keeps getting bigger? When I go to an Indigo salon, I never get air pockets. Maybe you do. No, absolutely not. The nails stayed on well, just too long, simply too long. It's not realistic. Always when someone does holiday nails, we ask, when are you coming back? Because you can play a little with the length. You can say, okay, I'll do them shorter because they'll grow anyways and I won't see you for a while, so there's no point going wild. Although, I know life, and sometimes clients would want them straight away as long as they normally wear them. No, this 110 is a lot better to work with in these high temperatures. I've been a fan of self-leveling gel for years now. Paula spotted a trend years ago. 3 years ago and more. Yes, it was called, now it's cover pink. And we have the selfs and the white. Do you prefer cover pink or the self? You know, I got so used to these selfs that it's all the same to me what I grab, to be honest. They all work the same. The shade is slightly different. And I'll tell you, cover pink is a more rigid gel. So if I do some longer extensions, then I prefer the cover pink. They come out a little harder. The first stage is behind us, so we're halfway through the process. I mean, the first step of the application. We need to finish off the last finger. It's more sensitive too. Okay, pop it in. And now we'll use the no-file method. I'm self-sufficient and I scratch myself. Oh, come on, we didn't come up with wipe-off for nothing, okay? Okay, so we have wipe-off. Here. It was here. But I'm wiping it anyway, I have to wipe all of them. I wipe them all. But not because there is lint on them, but because I will need to file them round to do the nails with a no-file method. It's a paradox. We're filing to do a no-file method. What? No, seriously. Now we'll file the frame down. This is why it was a pancake and not a frame. Pank frame. A panko frame. So this is why we did a panko frame, so we can now file it down to the desired shape, and thanks to that the final building layer I will apply, which will be a self-leveling one. It will level out beautifully and I won't have to file the surface at all. It's easier to control the desired shape when the layer is thin than when you have the whole 3D nail built. Now it's flat. It's a bit more 2D. It's 3D, but you know what I mean. It doesn't have the dome, doesn't have all of this built up, no apex, nothing. It's much easier to form this layer into the desired shape that the client requested. So first of all, the free edge, because we absolutely don't touch the surface here. Free edge and the edges. I'll give you squovels with soft corners and you'll tell me later if you like them because I think they will look very nice. Yes, very nice indeed. Yeah, they look cute. Look quick, bish bash, and here, it depends if you want the 100 or the 180, there's no difference really. Trying to even out the length will be some sort of an abstract subject because on one hand they are already shortened to the max and on the other one they are longer. We'd have to do quite long nails to even this out and that's not what we want. I always focus more on making sure that there are no huge size jumps between the nails of one hand. For example, the index and ring finger need to be similar to the middle one. But when it comes to both hands, left and right here, you have to take it on board that we focus more on the length of the free edge, so that they are similar, rather than the overall length of the nails. So it's possible that one thumb will be longer and the other thumb shorter, that the index finger will be longer. If there are really quite big differences, we try to find a middle ground. But if there are some small, minuscule variations in the overall length, then, to say it bluntly, I don't care. It's worth explaining to the client that this is done on purpose, that it's not the case of our lack of attention to detail, but that the starting points were very different. Yes, because we can sit here and try to do it, but as you'll see, I'd rather spend time on making sure that these two nails on one hand don't differ in length drastically. Then measure one hand against the other. I will shorten this one, so it will be a little smaller than this one because it was smaller to begin with. Look. Now without any filing, it's almost this size. I'll shorten it now and we'll compare it. It will certainly be different, but it's not an error. I already know it will be like that, so I'm letting you know. Okay, fine. I think this will be a nice looking shape. Quite pretty. Very. Perfect for roller skating. Yes, I did get this information, so I have to take it into account. That we'll see each other soon. Not to go too wild with the length here. I round Magda's edges straight away because I know exactly what will happen. But did you notice that when I had those super long nails, they didn't catch on anything? You know how it is. When you have such long nails, you're just more careful. And when you have short ones, you don't pay them any attention because you think they're short, so it's okay. I tested it too. Often when I have long ones, I'm very careful. And with short ones, it's like, whatever. And the end result varies. Okay, have a look at how I evened out this shape. The free edge is similar in length, but overall these are longer, plain and simple. So I don't really look at them individually, that this one is like this and this one like that. I try to ensure the free edge is similar. Of course, making sure that overall it doesn't look all over the place, but more or less aesthetically pleasing and not to fool anyone, so the free edges from underneath don't differ too much from one another. All right, have a look at the shape, see if you like it. I like it a lot. I thought you'd round them more, but I'm not upset that you didn't. I like them a little sharper than softer. Good. Give me your hand like this. I like to check it from this side as well.
No dobra,
Okay,
słuchajcie,
listen.
no to teraz jakby po tym,
Now, after this
bardzo
very
ważnym
important
etapie,
phase,
szybciutko,
quickly,
ale to dosłownie jest
seriously,
taki
a swift
krótki
flyover with a buffer.
Bufferkiem.
Here we have the
Mogę
100 to
tutaj
180
mamy
grip
chyba
buffer.
na 180, możemy
We can
na
use
800,
either
możemy
side,
180,
doesn't matter.
obojętne, po prostu
Only
tylko
just
po
so
to,
that the next
żeby nam
layer sticks well to this
kolejna
one.
warstwa
That's it.
złapała, no się do tej pierwszej. I już.
It's absolutely not reshaping the surface, it's only buffing.
Tylko mat. I to nawet nie musi
And
być
it
tak
doesn't
długo,
even need to
bo
be
one i tak się
everywhere,
dobrze spolimeryzują
because they
razem.
will polymerize together
A
well,
ja
but
jestem taka,
you know me,
wiecie,
I always need to
nie
help myself a
potrafię
little. So, if anything, I have a clear conscience that I did all that's within my power so that it all sticks well.
żeby to się dobrze trzymało.
Paula also knows she's drawn a difficult player. That's a different matter. We don't mention that. No, but seriously, I usually do a quick buff. It only takes a minute. But I can guarantee you it will save a lot of work and a lot of time when doing the next styling. So now the fact that I filed this now was much quicker than if I tried to file fully finished nails with all the curvatures, etc.
Zbudowane już z krzywiznami wszystkimi. Trudniej.
It's harder to imagine the 3D model and file it than this flat one. I can also buff the cuticles here because I won't cut any more out.
Nie będę ich już
We wipe them with wipe-off cleaner.
To jedziemy.
Let's go.
Znowu
We put another thin layer of product on thoroughly.
Dokładnie. Teraz ta warstwa,
This time the layer we'll be building is our final one.
docelowa. Ja nie staram się,
I try to make sure it is laid out in a way that doesn't require any filing. I really wouldn't want to have to file. We place it by the cuticles, very precisely, just a drop. We drag the side one and the other and continue evening out with a thin brush. I remove a bit of the product because I can see that it's a little too much. Don't be afraid to do that. Just because I placed it already and it looks nice doesn't mean I prefer to file it off later. No. I'd rather place it again. I don't like all the dust. We turn it around. Wait until it levels out to achieve a beautiful arch. Turn again. And it looks great here. Into the lamp. Into the lamp. I just need to touch up here. Oh, if it burns now, then just take the hand out. Because it could happen. Or it might be okay. So now we repeat one by one, exactly the same on all the nails. It's done. We wipe with wipe off. This is what the nails look like after product application. Beautiful. Not much filing to do, just the sides here, but that can be done with an e-file. Same here, on the side. Look how nice it is. The whole curvature was shaped by gravity. You can even it out slightly, but no stress here. Listen, I will correct these little elements that spilled over. Like here, on the ring finger, where the product ran a bit. I will file it down, and then gently around the cuticles, off the surface, and we're ready for the top coat. We insert the Diamond 3-bit and set the speed up to 10,000 RPM max so that it's safe by the cuticles. Here it seems okay, but I will go over it all quickly. It only takes a minute. And I'll be sure that everything will adhere properly. Nothing's flooded, just a quick correction on the side. Right, this side and this side. This side needs to be straight too. I am adjusting the shape a little, but it's more of a correction because I did the main shaping already. Only sometimes when adding this building layer, it changes a little bit. So here I advise correcting it a little too. Buff it out nicely, smooth it out, even it out. But I will tell you what, this gel has a very nice sheen to it. Yes. So if you wanted to do a super quick styling, it can handle it. It can handle it, right? Yep. Clean with wipe off. And apply tip top. I apply the top coat to 4 nails at a time and always talk about it in training sessions, because as I'm painting the 4th nail, the previous 3 are leveling beautifully. I never have any issues with uneven surfaces. I wait a moment and look, what a beautiful surface. Into the lump. Okay, so now let's remind ourselves what it looked like before and what it looks like now. Are they not stunning? Let's remember what they all looked like just an hour and a half ago. Nail styling, knowledge of what to do, and good quality products are a recipe for some true abracadabra. Look, we achieved this effect in just 1.5 hours. Hold on, what's going on here? We don't have any photos yet. Magda, Magda. Oh, of course, my bad. You need a serum too. Please smother me from head to toe. Rub it in yourself carefully. So we have... Come on, keep massaging it. You'll hydrate your fingertips as well. And what's the goal? Not to touch the tip top? Yes, that's the challenge. So you are taking part in a challenge after all. Fine. Look at them now. Wow. So beautiful. And this is the end of our episode. Let us know in the comments below if you enjoyed it. Remember, we're here every Thursday. Thank you. Beautiful. A truly beautiful transformation. Bye.